Cool.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Daniel Mishler, and I'm the current president of Dungeons and Dragons at IU. I'm here with a lot of the candidates for next year's election, and we're going to be talking about the roles that have already been decided, the uncontested elections, the results that have yet to be decided, and we'll be doing speeches for those, and you'll be voting on those. I'll send out an announcement in the Discord soon. And there's a potential roles next semester. And of course, we're going to be going through the great D&D at IU tradition of going through all the superlatives you come up with over the course of the semester. So let's get started. So we'll start by saying that next semester, Tyler Sterling is going to be running uncontested as the president. I will be not running as the president. I think, as a lot of you know, I'm a senior, and I'm very excited to see people who are not seniors taking up the mantle of being the president, which means that this club will be one of the ones that can survive after its founding members graduate. So I'm very excited about that. And we'll talk a little bit here. We have a contested vice president election. We were very fortunate to have enough people interested in helping out with the club to have a contested vice presidential election. Of course, this doesn't mean that if you want to help and you don't get elected that you can't help, because it's known in the Constitution of D&D at IU that the president can appoint roles to always help the executive council with certain tasks, and we'll be getting into that a little bit later. But for now, we have some short speeches from Mackenzie and Ben about why you should vote for them. So if you wouldn't mind, Mackenzie, do you have a few words for the club?
Yeah, definitely. So hi, I'm Kenzie Stolson, and I would really like to be the next vice president of this club. I've been here since close to when this first started to become a club, and I have seen it grow into something absolutely amazing. I have loved getting to meet so many new people, and I'm just so passionate about this club, and I want to help it be the absolute best that it can be. I'm friends with our future president, Tyler Sterling, and I think that we could really work together well to try to really grow this club into something that can be one of the biggest things that we have at IU. I know that sounds funny, but I really think that we can go far with this club, and I want to make sure that everyone feels included and heard and just has as much fun as they possibly can while they're here. So thanks.
Thanks, Mackenzie. And Ben, you also have a speech as well to give.
All right, hi, I'm Ben Kuntz. I'm looking to hopefully be the VP of D&D at IU for next semester. I joined the club last fall, which was beginning my freshman year at IU. And I was really surprised when I joined by how large the club was, and that's of course a good thing. And I'm hoping that in being VP, I'll be able to help to continue to expand it and be able to continue to help people in the club continue to work on their skills in D&D. Because when I first joined, I didn't really have a lot of experience playing. And that next spring semester of last year, I started DMing, and I realized that I really didn't know what I was doing. I had all the material, but there's a difference between reading the books and knowing what you're doing. So what I'd really like to be able to do as VP is to work with the other council members and the rest of the club to help introduce new players as well as new DMs. Because when I started DMing, I knew where I wanted the campaign to go, but I didn't know how to get there or really how to improv. So I'd like to be able to set up events to help new players become comfortable with role-playing and the rules, and to help workshop new DMs' ideas to really help them get started. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. It looks like we have two great candidates for vice president. And and by the way, I know you mentioned how big both of you mentioned how big the club was, and you can feel free to tout that I believe we are the largest independent student organization at IU. There are student organizations, of course, that are larger than us, but they are funded by some outside source or controlled by some outside source. But of course, that doesn't mean that we can't one day outgrow them. So
it's amazing.
I am going to be the secretary next semester. I'm running unopposed, and we'd like to thank Jacob for being the secretary for the past semester, and I'm sure he was the secretary for a few semesters before that as well. Noah, has been our treasurer, and he will continue to be our treasurer. And Matt has been our organizational director, and he will continue to be our organizational director. Neither of those roles had any other applicants other than the incumbents. So next, we had Lauren's mentioned the possibility of a few other roles, and she talked about them with us while we met briefly before recording this video. And of course, said Tyler, as the president, will have the ability to appoint some new people. So I figured that I should mention that because Lauren is in this meeting and she'll be reading superlatives with us. And you might be seeing her face with the executives next semester. And of course, as time goes on, if we decide that those roles are worth keeping around in the club, then we will propose amendments to the Constitution to make that the case. And that said, it is time for us to start superlatives. And Tyler, would you mind getting us started?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so thanks, Danny, for talking about that. And really excited to see all these new people, this council, this next semester. Just excited for people to continue to have fun and play in this club of ours. It's really good stuff. But yeah, so superlatives, if you've been here before, you would already know about this, but if not, this is a really, really cool little tradition that we have where we get to sort of give people these awards where we get to look back at the different fun memories that people have had back in their games this past semester, where we just give them like different names. We kind of describe the situation and we'll call out the person and their character's name that's associated with it. So this very first one is going to go to the coolest dress for Stephen Wren as Dunala, because she's a Sorlock with a battle dress. It works like armor. Next person, gonna make Ben. Ben, would you like to read the next one?
All right. And this one is Hugs, the greatest weapon, which goes to Lauren Stein as Callista and Kaylin. Who needs fighting when you can solve your problems by hugging people or giant earth elementals crushing the rest of your party members?
And this next one is the line that to make everyone laugh so hard that they cry. I was actually in the car once with Jacob when he told me this. So this is Jacob as Perrin. He concluded the line here, or whoever submitted it included the line here. He said, "Why do we need to go to a bar to get fun when we have beds here?" So the next superlative is the cutest companion. Lauren, would you mind reading this one?
Sure. For Zach Levy as Lucifer because he has a cat. Who wouldn't want the top devil in the form of a black cat who breathes fire?
And Mackenzie, would you like to announce our best cookie baker?
So the best cookie baker is Lauren Stein as Lauren Stein. She makes so many cookies for like any session she's in. So does Tyler.
What an excellent character name, Lauren Stein.
Very creative.
So the highest priority target is Mackenzie Stilson as Fallon. Really knows how to make herself most likely to be hit by cannibal children in the woods, apparently. So Mackenzie, would you like to read about the chillest DM?
All right, so chillest DM, Christian Hop as God. I can see it. He cool.
That's all it is, just he cool. You want to read the next one, Noah?
Sure thing. Okay, so most likely to make a deal with a random patron for whatever reason is Zach Hornberger as Edward Neuros, I think. He caused another side conflict in the story. You know, that happens sometimes, and it's great.
You do be like that sometimes.
Yep.
So the best muscle bromance. This one goes to Ethan Everett and Cyrus Brewer as Terfalk and Gabro. Buff demigod and a buff revenge paladin. These two kings took care of each other in the front lines of hell. Tyler, you want to get the next one?
Yeah. We got Best Scream, Zach Levy as God. Ah! Boo!
Actually, that's a pretty good impression.
Solid.
Thanks.
Ben, you want to get this one?
Sure. And the award for There's Glow Time Like Now goes to Lauren Stein as Kaylin, I believe. Whether it's being in disco ball, glowing to comfort a child, or just wanting to outglow a being that will explode later to assert her glow dominance. Very lightful.
I never thought anyone would have that sentence come out of their mouth before until today.
I did not expect to say it coming into this meeting.
There's a lot of these out here. Now, I got the chance to walk downstairs in Luddy to see the best pajamas from the man himself, Matthew, as Matthew Kutsupanagas. Them Batman pajamas were stylish.
He did wear them like every session, it seemed.
Yep. Tyler, you want to get this one?
Yeah, we got the dad friend here. Not best friend, dad friend. It just says dad friend. Kenzie Stilson as Valence Fankier.
And Kenzie, you want to get the next one?
Knife Juggler. Olivia Andrews as Siren. No matter what equipment or tactics the party has, she just kept on stabbing.
And we have superlatives for most improved player. Now, this one seems like it was Darcy Rose as Daryl. The first session, Darcy had never played D&D, but was there for every session and got a hold of the system fast. That's something that's great about the club, is that we do get to bring a lot of new players in.
Congrats, Darcy.
You want to get this one, Tyler?
How about we have Ben or Noah or Lauren do this one?
All right. Someone take the mantle.
I guess I got it. So, best acting goes to Jacob Sievert as God, because he's God. Thank you for your passion, Jacob. We all love you.
Devil Babysitter. Lauren, you got this one?
Sure. Christian Hoff as Adrian. Let's be honest, Lucifer was practically your best friend and pet.
All right, Ben, this one's you.
All right. The award for most creative vomit goes to Stephen Moran as Stug. What a delightful smell.
All right, Noah?
So, Mighty But Caring has to go to Annie as Brick, because what a name. She's just Mighty But Caring, you know?
I know that Annie was in Jacob's group as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last name given. It was Annie from Jacob's group.
Awesome.
Our Child Slayer award goes to Christian Hopp as Rowan. Something seemed fishy about those children.
No. Oh my gosh.
That's some of the stuff you see there. Ben, you want to read the BBEG's best friend here?
All right. BBEG's Best Friend Award goes to Lauren Stein as Lady Talia. She made friends with the BBEG before the final battle. They didn't even fight. When does that ever happen?
Got anything to add to that, Lauren?
Why fight when you can talk and hug it out?
Of course. Noah, you want to read some of these next few?
Yeah, so these are all from me and Danny's campaign. So these are gonna be good. So Golden Boy goes to Asher as Esdeath. He literally always rolled high and got away with everything until he didn't and he died. But he was going strong the whole time.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, pretty much most of the campaign not taking a hit at all, but he was one of the only. His PC Esdeath died a very ignoble death, unfortunately.
Yep.
At the hands of a vampire.
So for going biggest mode, it goes to Keegan as Orsha, because Orsha's biggest mode out there. I forget what it's for, but Orsha just goes big mode, and that was just a defining moment multiple times throughout the campaign.
Of course, going big mode. You want to get this one, Noah? This is I don't know how to introduce this one.
So this is an inside joke, and it is a question that you should all consider. But dwarves are thick goes to Emma as Thomason, because if you know, you know. Dwarves are thick.
Of course.
F that.
F that. Goes Victoria as Ayumi, because literally she just said F that to everything, and it was great. Harbinger of Sanity. This one goes to Andrew as Lucius, because he was the only sane character in our entire campaign.
Got a lot of these, Noah.
Yep. And then the straight up legend, this one goes out to my man, Danny Mishler as God, because he's just the dude, you know. Everyone show him some love and support.
I appreciate that, Noah. I also had to give you one. Oh wait, we're missing that I think is coming up later. We have one for highest IQ, and this one goes to Philip Pamprine as Painbridge. Now, I'm quite intrigued by this one because I know Philip Pamprine and I know Professor Painbridge, and he has not played Professor Painbridge this semester or last semester or the semester before that. So I think this voter fraud is a joke about resubmitting some sort of superlative here. Regardless, there it is.
When he played that, did superlatives even exist at the time?
That was the first semester they existed.
Yeah.
Which is why, by the way, when you submit superlatives, the form gives Professor Painbridge's highest IQ as an example.
Gotcha.
Mackenzie, you want to get the most likely to be snatched by?
Absolutely. Most likely to be snatched by a rock. TJ Nota as Gray.
And for the most tenacious goblins, I think that Noah already mentioned that he co-DM'd as he was getting used to DMing. Noah also very much a legend and getting the room to be rolling on the floor with the way that he was able to roleplay goblins. Would you give us any sort of sample of your greatness, Noah?
Well, you know, we got a free middle finger emoji. I don't know. It was great to play that though.
Of course. I love when you get like kind of squat when you do goblin voices. But anyway, this brings us to the close of our superlatives for the fall of 2020. This was a full semester where we never got to meet in the auditorium at Luddy Hall, and the club stayed strong and in a lot of ways got stronger. So thank you everyone for all of your help in participating for one in D&D at IU and being active. And thank you to all of the exec members for running for office and, you know, being there to help bring this club forward into the future. I know that it's been important to a lot of people as they come into IU to find a community. And I'm really happy that everyone here is willing to be part of that community and to make it a place where people can find it. So thank you, everyone. And we look forward to announcing the election results, and you'll be hearing from us again at the start of next semester.